The cafe was filled with the soft hum of early morning chatter. Steam from coffee machines curled into the air. Laptop keys clicked, phones buzzed, and sunlight filtered through the glass windows. In the long line stood a man in a dusty jacket and work boots, Jonah Miller, a construction worker on his usual routine. In front of him was a well-dressed woman, holding her coffee order. She inserted her black card into the reader. Beep. Declined. She tried again. Same result. Murmurs began behind her. Some people sighed. Her eyes lowered, cheeks red with embarrassment. Just then, Jonah gently stepped forward. Without saying much, he handed over a crumpled $5 bill to the barista. I got it, Elsh said kindly. The woman turned to him, stunned. You really don't have to. It's just coffee, he smiled. Don't worry about it. What he didn't know was who she really was. But she knew exactly who he was. Jonah, the man nobody noticed. Jonah was 32. He lived in a tiny apartment with his younger sister and her son. He worked on construction sites during the day and odd jobs in the evening. He didn't complain. He didn't expect much from anyone. Just coffee in the morning, work during the day, and quiet evenings helping his nephew with homework. He was the kind of man people walked past, without ever really seeing. Except one woman noticed. Her name was Elena Carter, and she was more than she seemed. Elena's secret. Elena Carter was a self-made billionaire. CEO of a real estate empire with projects across the country. But beneath the power and polished heels, she carried the memory of poverty and struggle. Once a year, she would shed the title, the makeup, and the bodyguards, stepping into her own businesses as an ordinary woman. To see who would notice her humanity. Who would treat her with dignity. That morning, her test was simple: use an expired card, and see what people did. Some people ignored her. Some frowned. One walked out. But Jonah? He didn't even blink. He paid. A debt beyond money. Outside the cafe, Elena caught up to him. Please, at least let me repay you, she said. Jonah laughed and adjusted his tool bag. Really, it's not a big deal. People helped me before. I'm just passing it on. And he walked away. No name. No social media handle. But Elena couldn't forget him. She had access. So she used it. Through cafe cameras, casual questions, and silent research, she found out about Jonah's life. Working long hours. Raising his nephew. Helping his sister study at night. No debts, no bad habits, just quiet, selfless strength. Her heart ached. And a plan formed: the hidden opportunity. Elena created a new job opening in her company. Assistant site manager, no experience needed. Full training. Starting pay, $65,000. She made sure the job ad would find its way to Jonah. A friendly cafe worker casually mentioned it to him. Jonah hesitated. I'm not qualified for that. I didn't even finish college. The friend replied, just apply. What's the worst that can happen? The interview surprise. Jonah wore his only clean shirt. His shoes were old but polished. His hands shook slightly. He sat through the interview, trying his best. The HR manager smiled, asked simple questions. Then, the door opened. And in walked Elena Carter, not in plain clothes this time, but in her CEO form, sleek blazer, heels clicking, confidence radiating. Jonah stood, stunned. You, from the cafe? She smiled, extending her hand. Coffee tastes better when it's shared, doesn't it? He was speechless. You passed the most important test we have here, she said. Kindness when no one's watching. A new beginning. Jonah got the job. And he didn't just survive, he thrived. Within months, he was managing crews, overseeing schedules, and inspiring others. He moved to a better apartment. Helped his sister enroll in college. Paid for his nephew's school with pride. Elena and Jonah stayed in touch. Sometimes over coffee, sometimes just a quiet walk after work. He once asked her, "Why me?" She said softly, "Because you saw me when others didn't. You helped, not knowing who I was. That means more to me than any title. Something greater than success." One evening, on the rooftop of a nearly completed building, Elena stood beside Jonah. She looked out over the city and said, "People like you change the world. One small act at a time." He smiled, honestly. "For me, it was just Tuesday." They laughed. In that moment, two people, one from power, one from struggle, stood as equals. Not because of money or fame, but because of humanity. Final message, for voiceover conclusion. Sometimes, the smallest acts of kindness lead to the biggest changes. You never know who you're helping, or who's watching. Jonah didn't pay for coffee hoping for a reward. He did it because it was right. And in return, his entire life changed.